Get Heavy Podcast, hosted by Craig Casamas and John Scheimer.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So I guess this is the time to say that Get Heavy is now presented by Fatty Vegan.
That's right.
80 Fizzity, 805. Ventura's newest, it's so new, it's not even here yet. Ventura's newest vegan punk hangout. But you don't have to be vegan and you don't have to be punk to hang out. Right. I just made that up. I literally just made that up.
Yep. So we have our first official sponsor, and it's Fatty Vegan.
First official sponsor, Fatty Vegan, sponsoring the Get Heavy podcast.
That's right, man. Well, that's awesome, man. So January 20th is a big opening date, right?
January 20th is our big opening day.
Give me a rundown. How you guys going to be doing phone orders? You got to order at the counter? What's the
deal? We think we're just going to start off we're just going to start off with just come up and order. Mm-hmm. Don't really know what we're getting ourselves into yet.
Right.
We don't really have we're not really hiring people. We're not in the position to be able to hire people.
Yeah.
We're doing it all ourselves right now. So we want to make sure that we don't overpromise and not perform. So we're trying to we're not going to do phone orders, basically is what I was saying.
Yeah.
It'll be just walk up only, takeout and delivery. Everything's based on COVID life right now.
You guys are going to do delivery?
No, I'm sorry.
Just takeout only. Takeout only. Hit him with the address, dude. Hit him with the address.
325 South Borcher Drive in Ventura, lovely Midtown, behind the big lots. The big parking lot.
That's right.
And it is it's gonna be fun. We're hoping it'll be good. Follow us, Fatty Vegan 805 on Instagram and Facebook right now.
Beautiful. I'm so stoked for you guys, man. I'm sure that first month is gonna be chaos. Having two people that have never really ran a restaurant, I'm sure you guys are gonna do fine. But
I hope
obviously Sean fucking has that shit under control as far as the food.
Yeah. I mean, with Strummers in Fresno, I work in it.
Yeah.
So and that's a full blown restaurant. So it's I know what to do.
Right.
But it's exciting. It's actually fun to have something with a deadline and be kind of creative in a year of so much uncreativity for me personally.
Yeah. And the food the pictures on Instagram, if you guys go to Instagram, Fatty Vegan 805. The food looks, I'm not a vegan, but I will be there eating as much as I can.
Yeah.
I want one of them Philly sandwiches. I need myself some tacos. I need all those things.
Yeah, and we're naming everything after bands or songs or something like that, or some kind of punk. It's a punk reference of some sort. We have the Stalag 13 sandwich, which is a Philly cheesesteak, and there was a venue in Philadelphia called Stalag 13.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So that's why I was it was an old DIY punk venue. Okay. And I'm we could call it the Stalag 13 because we have Stalag 13 here and they have Stalag 13 in Philadelphia.
Ooh, nice.
So that was how I fucking tied that one together.
Fucking A, man. I'm stoked for you, man. January 20th, couple weeks, guys. It'll be
January 20th.
Banging. Open Wednesday through Sunday, right?
Wednesday through Sunday, yeah. 2 to 9-ish on Wednesday and Thursday, and then 10:30 a.m. to 9-ish Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Nice. Yeah, stoked, man. Well, congratulations, man. I hope it goes well.
Thanks. It should be fun.
And on another note, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/getheavypodcast. $1 a month will get you early access to the episodes. We're going to be putting up a bunch more content on there. And also we still have the merchandise at Big Cartel. I think it's Get Heavy Podcast at bigcartel.com. Check that out. You can find all their masks and shit like that there. And then, the New Year's going to be.
Right on. How you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Pretty good. Just chilling, not doing much, just trying to play some guitar, hang out, not get sick.
Yeah, Jake, this is the homie Craig. Craig, this is
How you
Jake.
doing, Craig? Nice to
Pleasure
meet
to
you,
meet you,
man.
bud.
Yeah.
You too, buddy.
Yeah. What up, bud? Fuck, I haven't
Not
seen
much,
you.
dude. Yeah, just laying low. Went to Phoenix actually a couple weeks ago for like a week, so that was
Oh,
cool.
so you were trying to get COVID?
Yeah, basically. But
Basically.
it was kind of an emergency thing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
had to go
man.
out there for some stuff. And but otherwise, yeah, dude, not really much. Just really not doing much. Just taking walks. We have
Yeah.
a few cats, so just taking care of the cats.
Yeah. Damn, dude. Yeah, dude. So this is our pod. We just kind of chit chat about like life,
Nice, dude.
happiness. You know what I mean? Just
That's cool, man. I'm
kinda
always
check
down to do
in, see how everyone's doing. You know. But yeah, man, fucking. So you just been laying low, pretty much.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there's really, obviously, as you know, the whole industry is just shut down. So there's no point in doing much. We've been practicing a little bit and just kind of like working on some new song ideas and stuff like that. But I don't know. We might try to record something in the next month or two, but it's hard to say.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were talking about going out to Vegas to record with a guy out there, but it's just we really want to risk like going out there right now when it's not like essential. Like there's no like total timeline to like need to do it. So.
Right.
Where do you live at?
Just gonna kind of chill.
Where do you live?
I'm in like West Hollywood, pretty much, like Melrose and La Brea.
Is LA seem like as much as a shit show as they're making it sound like on the news?
Here's the window.
Dude, Hollywood looks a lot shittier than I remember.
It's a lot shittier. There's a bank right there, so it kind of sucks. But yeah, dude, it's just fucking a whole lot of just hanging out and not doing shit, really, dude. Just fucking playing a lot of guitar though, so that's cool. My wife is I've been teaching her guitar, so
nice.
Yeah,
that's
Liza's
cool,
been
man.
learning some metal licks. I've been teaching her some Slayer, like just basic like palm muting kind of stuff and shit. Just trying to get her to like play metal a little bit, so it's fun.
Right.
Are we doing a husband-wife duo band here pretty soon? Then is that what we're working?
Eventually, yeah. No, I don't know. We'll see.
I'm always
she's
shocked
trying to teach me some piano too.
I'm always shocked at the bands that tour as like husband and wife and shit. I'm like, how? How does that? How?
Yeah.
I mean, I love my wife, but oh my god, man! Like on tour for 2 months.
I think it would bring a whole another weird, dynamic to it's already. But being in a band, it's like a marriage anyways. Like it being, is. John can testify to that. When we're on the road, we're pretty much married to like 6-7 other dudes.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much not all your time. It's like pretty much what everyone wants to do. So
yeah, man. I spent years touring, and you really, me and John toured a lot together back in the day, and
cool.
It tests every ounce of your fucking patience and living being, at certain times. But
it's great, but you have to just kind of learn. But I think it's a great tool because it's taught us all to like be patient in crazy situations. And if you're broke down somewhere for a day or two and you're just stuck in the middle of nowhere, you can't just freak out and like go home or something. Like you have to deal with it and figure it out. So that's kind of what we've been doing.
Right.
So this is, kind of prepared us for this whole weird fucking lockdown thing in a way.
Like I always tell people when everyone's like, dude, what's it like to tour? Like, how are you able to go on tour this night? I'm like, dude, 90% of touring is getting along with your people.
Yeah.
The other 10% is like, you know what I mean? Like, but if you could be the best at whatever, but if you're a completely fucking unbearable fucking piece of shit, it's like no one's gonna want to tour with you.
No, it's so true. You have to be a team player. You have to really be beyond just being, you have to be good at what you do, but I'm exactly with you on that. Like, I'd rather go out with a dude that's just a way better hangout that is, still great at what they do, but, then some fucking gnarly, insane, like maybe the best in the world. But if they're going to be a fucking nightmare or something, then, all that adds up.
You just can't, dude. You can't live with, you can't be with someone. I've gone on a couple disaster tours where I wasn't in a band, and it was amazing to watch. You know what I mean? Like I was just selling merch and it was older dudes that they kind of put all these players together to do this tour, and it went so fucking south so fast. Made it halfway through the tour. People are flying home. People are fucking quitting. And I was like, this is insane. Like, because I've done grimy, dirty touring, with John and shit. But we all get along and we're all in it together. But like when you have a group of guys that barely fucking know each other and then just figure out on tour they can't stand each other either, it's almost nothing worse, you know?
Yeah, you can't force the chemistry that you really need to sort of have in that situation. And we learned it like the hard way and just over the years. But we were also young when we went out that we were able to just kind of deal with whatever came our way. I think if you're like already sort of rooted in like your way and you're just going out with these other like pros that are rooted in their way, like that would be, yeah, you never know how that chemistry is going to be. You know, that could be kind of weird.
Yeah, especially if you're the odd man in stepping, like if you're the odd man out stepping into a preset thing, you know what I mean? Like it's
Totally.
just you got a whole dynamic that you got to learn, and then.
And I'm very spoiled. I've been in this band, only just this band. Like I've only been in Strung Out. I've jammed with some other, you know, little side things here and there, but nothing I ever want to put real time into. And, you know, so I've only had this one band and this one experience. So I'm really fortunate with that. I know a lot of dudes have had to like jump gigs, and that can be cool too, I imagine. But, you know, I'm kind of spoiled in the regard that I've just had this one gig the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. With that being said, how's your psyche with not doing shows? Are you in the brethren of like, okay, look, it's like there's some people that are like, I fucking miss it. I fucking need to get back like right away. I'm losing my mind. And then there's other people that are like, it's gonna come back. I'm enjoying the break.
Yeah.
You know?
You have to be in that second group. You have to, because otherwise just you're gonna be a gnarly like, I don't know, dude. It's going to drive you so crazy. Like, I think at first we were all like that, you know, at first we were like, okay, this is a temporary thing. Like, what's this going to be like a couple months? And then it became this indefinite thing, and everything got pushed back and scrapped for the whole year. So you just had to learn to accept it and kind of be like, all right, I'm just going to like maintain myself. I'm going to keep myself, like, I'm going to keep the car tuned in the garage while the fucking, you know, while the roads are getting built. And, you know, you just have to kind of take care of yourself and be ready. Because, dude, it's going to be like, you know, the last show I played was last November 23rd, which is over a year now. So
that was
the
last Strung Out. That was the last show, huh?
That was the last one I did. They did a few shows in Australia that I didn't get.
Right.
My visa never got granted for some fucking ridiculous reason.
Right.
So, so I didn't do those shows. But yeah, that last show I did was over a year ago. So it's weird to have a year off. Like I've never had a whole year since I joined the band. You know, I've never had a year off since I was 17, basically. So it's weird, but it's cool. You know, like you just have to stay on top of yourself. I've been doing pretty good with guitar. I've actually played probably more guitar since I've been home than I would be on the road. Because, you know, when you're on tour, like the last thing you want to do is like really touch your instrument until it's like time to play or time to do sound check. Like the rest of the day, you're like going to the hotel, you're trying to get rest. You're trying to just like grab a moment for yourself to like hang out. And like, I'm not gonna be trying to like put my metronome on and just shred all day. So I've been playing way more. So I've actually advanced as a player, I'm sure, this year. Nice. But, you know, it's just getting on stage again and being physically active and like doing that. That's going to be different. Like that. You know, I mean, I walk and shit. I walk. But like, you know, me and my wife hike. Me and Liza will do stuff in the area, and like, you know, I was doing push-ups and sit-ups, and I just don't care about that right now because when you don't have a date, when you don't have like this thing to look forward to, it's very challenging to be like, well, I'm just going to maintain for like indefinitely, and in a year from now, it's like it's probably something like not like to equate it to being in jail, but like looking at the long term, like being like, I've got 5 years, I need to fucking do something with my life before I can have my old life back. So what do you do in that time? And, you know, you kind of have to look at like that. Hopefully it's only going to be another 6 to 8 months before shows sort of start coming back, but it's so up in the air. It's so dependent on the vaccine and the success of that. And so dependent. I mean, I don't know, John, I think shows are gonna be tied to bars very closely, like the reopening of bars.
Totally. And I mean, I don't see like big things coming back for a minute, but I don't even know I don't even know anymore, to be quite honest.
There's no model for this.
Maybe stuff like the size of like the El Rey comes back and it only allows in 200 people.
Yeah. So you're going to be dealing with limited capacities. I think you'll be seeing outdoor events, like field type show, like maybe like Sabroso type areas, but instead of 10,000 people, it's 1,000 or something. You'll see that. I mean, you'll see bars start coming back at some capacity. When a bar can be at like 50% capacity and there's enough vaccines out there that people aren't fucking just getting sick as fuck and flooding the hospitals, then you can look at going, okay, we can have that capacity gathering. And being in a bar, dude, is like, you're sloppy, you're drinking, the whole like safety goes out the window. So it's kind of like a show, I think, because you can't ask people at a show to wear masks the whole time. You can't, like, that's not going to fucking fly. And everything I've heard, it's like going to be like a mandatory vaccine to be allowed into the show to get the ticket or whatever.
I don't know if like, I just don't know if they can like, I don't see how everything's going to be based on the venue. Like whatever the venue wants to do, because it's their local jurisdiction of it. I have a hard time seeing them forcing a vaccine thing, because even some people that are getting vaccines are like, they don't want to see someone forced to have to get one.
Sure. Yeah, it's a crazy prospect, but I think that's gonna be across the board, just straight up. Like, you want to go to any event.
Yeah. Either that or rapid testing. You know what I mean? But but as musicians too, I mean, in this time, I mean, I cut my teeth. I'm sure you did, playing in shitty bars that are, you know what I mean, that are struggling so bad right now. I think it's honestly like, it's our responsibility as musicians to help these people over the next year get back to fucking normal. You know what I mean? So I would hope that a lot of bigger bands like you guys would like scale down a little bit and play these bar shows and help bring people back for these small businesses, rather than just going, not that you guys would do this, but going straight to these large events and stuff like that. Because fucking, these places need help, dude. Like, that's my band plays mainly in bars and, shitty dive bars. So I would hope that we all be able to like focus on that a little bit,
I think it'll be like that, just because, like Jake says, like, or like we were saying, like, big capacity is not coming back for a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, who wants to go be in a fucking area with 50,000 people, like, at a baseball game?
Yeah, right.
I would love to go to a baseball game, but I don't see them allowing 50,000 people into a fucking.
Not until these levels are down to where infections are down to whatever they consider an acceptable rate. But this thing's always going to be out there. It's going to be like
it's a forever thing
out there.
It's a forever thing.
So it's just what point do you go, we have to fucking go back, we have to open it up? Like, there's going to be a point where you have to go, it's fucking circulated, like the vaccine is being circulated. It's up to you if you want to get it. But I think like any like major ticket is going to require it. I think like I hear what you're saying. Like, maybe you can find some like vets halls and like some local promoters. Like, maybe we can go play Palmdale and like draw 50 people in a 200 cap room. But how do you even like the whole prospect of like, how do you financially bring in the income to put on a show? Like, the show requires a certain ticket price to bring in the money just to operate the event, not to pay anyone anything.
Not to pay anybody,
So, and that needs to be, for us, $20 times 250 tickets times 300 tickets times 500 tickets, whatever we're trying to do to offset that guarantee we're getting. So, and then the venues need to operate, and they need to pay their staff, they need to hire all that shit. So you can't do that at half capacity, like, unless the tickets are $500 a ticket.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to do it at half capacity. It's like we might as well just stay home. That's what I was like when these when these drive-through shows were coming up, and like, we were on a few text threads where, people were talking about putting on events and stuff like that. I'm kind of just like, why even waste our time with 30% capacity?
Yeah. It's not an economically, it doesn't work.
And it's not like it's something where, we're looking for that constant. You know what I mean? We're not looking for this one event a month.
No.
That's not our lives.
Right. Exactly. And even that would be, it'd be hard for, I don't know. It's just a weird thing, because we were coming from a situation where we were concerned about the market being flooded, right? Like, we were concerned about too many events, too many tours, too many package tours, all this shit. Like, we had to team up with like good bands all the time to do any sort of real numbers. So because it's like
everyone was touring, because everyone's touring.
So, I mean, this is cool that resets all of that and totally recharges like the demand and all that. So
do you feel like do you feel like we're gonna lose a lot of bands? You know what I mean? After this, like, I feel like a lot of bands are like, we're done. You know what I mean? So it
unfortunately,
might
like, we
level the
lost
playing field again. You know?
I mean, Alexi Leho passed away today or last night. And he was 41. He's younger than me. So, I mean, it's just shit happens. And what sucks is a lot of bands were on their last leg. You know, they had maybe a couple years left in their touring career. They're old dudes. And for whatever reason, everything from Motley Crue up to like Deep Purple or whatever fucking, you know, dudes are out there. Those cats aren't going to be going back to this until it's significant. I mean, until it's, I don't know, like, if this vaccine is really 95% effective or 90% effective and you get it and you're safe, then I guess the dudes will go out and do it. But it just, I think we're going to see touring coming back to the States last, unfortunately. I think we're going to see touring.
Dead ass last, dude.
Yeah, dude. Like Canada, Europe, we'll see those markets come back before us. So it's like, can we get the vaccines to go and get into those markets to perform? So, you know, we're going to have to wait our time till April or May or whatever, I'm hearing.
And the problem with other countries doing it and not us is we're not going to be able to go there because we're going to have to quarantine for 2 weeks before we, you know what I mean? It'd be like you have to go for 3 weeks before your tour.
Well, that would be what it is now.
You know,
that's what it would take now. But if you're vaccinated, maybe it won't be that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe then they're like, okay, show us your card or whatever the fuck you get.
I mean, I would get a vaccination just because I don't believe in fucking all the conspiracy of vaccinations. I just don't.
You know, I got when we were in Venezuela, I got some shit fucking put in my arm to go to Brazil. I don't know, dude. It's what I fucking do to travel. It's what I've always done. When I was going to go to South Africa, I was going to have to get like 6 fucking gnarly shots. Like, all right, dude. Like, I don't care. Like, I put so much fucking crazy shit in my body this last year, being stuck home, and all these other people doing all this coke and fentanyl and shit, and you're concerned about this fucking shit. Like, okay, like. I agree. I don't know if I'd want to be first in line. Like let's kind of see the effects. But
you're not going to be. You're a musician. You're going to be dead ass last in line.
Yeah, none of these people concerned have the choice to get it right now. Like it's got to go through millions of other people first. So we'll see if they turn into brain-eating zombies and shit. Yeah. Then we'll see. Then maybe I won't get it. But maybe.
Like I say, is it never ends that cool.
Yeah, it's never that cool.
Everyone's always like, it's always like, this is coming, coming, and then it's like, all right, sweet.
I'm just not concerned about like nanobots being in this shit and all this stuff. Like, and honestly, fuck it, dude. I'm 46. Well, I will be 46. It doesn't even matter anymore. Yeah. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm halfway dead.
I mean, you're already
I'll fucking do whatever for the next 5-10 years to fucking rock and roll, dude. I just want to rock and roll.
Yeah, right.
So, but whatever it takes, it's weird shit. And I'm not saying that it needs to be a mandated forced thing. Like, fuck that. Like, you can't.
But if you want to go do these things, and you know, you have the option. And that's the thing is like, that's what the world is. The world is
gonna be everything from theaters to Magic Mountain to fucking concerts to airplanes. Probably like it's just
you want to go do
I
that.
don't know what's fucking gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, you have to get vaccinations to travel to other countries. Now you gotta get vaccination to be a fucking human and not die of fucking COVID.
Yeah, they had to do this shit 100 years ago. You know, they'll have to do it in another 100 years if we're lucky. If it's not another 10 to 20 years for some other fucked up virus pandemic. But like, look at this fucking dirty ass planet. Like, look at the way we live. This shit all comes from fucking people eating bats' fucking heads and shit. So, you know, it was cool when Ozzy did it, but you can't have a whole country doing it.
What if Ozzy was the guy? What if Ozzy was the guy that really started it? It just took that long.
He's Ozzy, you notice no one has actually really seen Ozzy.
I know.
Yeah, that's true.
It's always down. It's all just Sharon releasing statements.
I mean, think about it, dude. Where was Black Sabbath on tour when Corona came out?
China. That's true. They could have been in China. I think that was the Wuhan.
He's like, hey, give me a bat from the wet market over there down on the street. You can buy shit anything you want.
So, you know.
Could have been Ozzy, dude.
It's just, you know, it's all bad, but you know, I just fucking, it's a weird time, dude. So we'll see. It's just, I'm optimistic. I think things will be getting better. Hopefully in 6 months we'll be in a better position to look at stuff and maybe shit won't be back. But you know,
I think in 6 months you're going to be in some sort of a herd immunity type situation anyway, regardless whether you want to or not. You know what I mean? So it's going to have to start coming back, you know. But if the difference between me and you and John jumping out and going on tour and playing shows is getting a fucking shot in your arm, sign me up, dude. I'm good.
Yeah.
Totally, dude. Like I'm ready to do whatever it takes to rock, man. I'll get blood transfusions. I'll fucking
Yeah.
I'll do whatever it takes.
Dude, what's that thing in Jake's arm on stage?
Yeah, totally.
He's giving blood transfusions right now.
We've all given a lot of blood for this band, all right? We've all shed a lot of blood and sweat and, you know, been killed in one way or another. So, yeah, you know, fuck it. It's all bonus time for me right now. So, I'm just happy.
Do you think the coming socialist revolution is on its way? Do you think the Civil War is about to happen?
Right. Well, it's gonna be funny, right? Because all this shit's going down in the next couple days with the Georgia election, and then you know, everything with the Electoral College, and then I think Trump is seriously gonna try to stay in the White House, like on the 20th. Like, I think they may have to drag him out, which is fucking awesome,
dude.
I love this. I love his temper tantrum. The fact that he didn't just lose once, he lost 60 fucking times. You know, he's lost 60 cases. Like, and it's just been this whole clusterfuck of like the most crazy shit you've ever seen. Like, it's sad. It's real sad, but like it's real fucking kind of funny too. It's just fucked up. So all I can do is laugh at these insane fucking things going on.
It's just, we're in like a weird Wario world or something, dude. It's like a alternate universe. It feels
just
like,
when
you know
reality
what I mean?
reality TV took over such a gnarly part of our society and culture, and that something like this could happen, and you get a cultist figure out of a fucking not even good like reality TV star, not even like he's not even that interesting. Donald Trump's not even that interesting or like that captivating or anything. He's a horrible liar. See right through his fucking lies.
Yeah.
Anyone that believes his fucking lies, it's like, dude, stay away from a fucking used cars dealer. You know,
I mean,
keep a distance from a fucking bullshit. You know,
I'm just I'm amazed at like people's just like, well, yeah, he's the shit. It's like, what the fuck is going on? I've never.
Are you impressed by anything about this guy? He's a fucking draft dodging coward. Chicken shit. He doesn't take the blame for anything. If anything fucks up on his watch, he doesn't go, oh shit, I fucked up. No, it's this guy or that guy. It's all he's the biggest chicken shit. And that's the most amazing thing about the whole MAGA like thing is like these wannabe tough guys think he's this like tough guy. And he's a little fucking bitch. He's tall, he's a bitch. He's a tall bitch.
Dude, Chris Aiken could slap him. And
Chris Aiken would fuck him up.
Chris Aiken would slap
Mini-Me would fuck him up, dude. He would run away from Mini-Me and fucking hide behind Pence. I fucking guarantee it, dude. Send Mini-Me in there if he was still alive.
Oh my
God.
Nunchucks.
I'd like to see Ed Sheeran punk him. You know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be great.
He's like the most unassuming, not terrifying human you could fucking imagine.
And just the crybabiness of it all, and the whole like they can't
it's the crying. It's the crying for me. It's the crying.
The biggest snowflake fucking fags. They're just such. It's just that I can't believe like, you know, these tough guys are being such crybabies about losing what was very obviously a fair election. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been
it was so looked over. Donald Trump was so saying this election was going to be rigged anyways before. That wouldn't you think he put all these things in place? Wouldn't he be on top of like making sure it wasn't rigged? You know, instead all he tried to do was like
the only plan was to claim it was. I mean, that was his only plan, to claim that it was rigged. I mean, he didn't have a fucking plan. He didn't have a plan for healthcare. He doesn't have a plan for the economy.
No.
He doesn't have a plan for a fucking thing besides the fact that everything's not his fault and it just blamed the Democrats. You know what I mean? And that's it.
Which he was up until 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, until he became the real racist old kook that he is. You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny if you watch old interviews of Trump from like the late '80s, he talks about if he really got into politics, he would need to run as a Republican because of the religious views, and they're sheep basically, and that they're the easiest, you know, party to, you know, they'd be the easier one to compromise and to get in. And dude, it's just been amazing to see Donald Trump, this like total adulterer, fucking scumbag, like become the head of that wannabe, you know, religiously righteous party. You know, that's just so hypocritical, and like it just shows power corrupts anything, and people will do anything for, you know, he was famous, so I think the fame is like exciting to these fucking nerdy fucking Republicans. They're like, "Ooh, he's a famous guy."
Well, and like they're like, and it's like it's like going like, "Oh, look, he talks about us."
Yeah.
Hey, he mentioned our county the other day.
he tweeted about us, you know.
He tweeted about us.
And
He
he's
tweeted.
honestly, he's the closest thing like conservatives have to like an insult comic, you know, because there's not a lot of great comedy in right wing circles.
Yeah, he's basically their Jeffrey Ross. Like, he's their roast master general.
He's one step
below your mama's. He's the white trash version of your mama's so fat. You know?
And I guess it speaks to people. That speaks to some people. Some people are very impressed by that. So it's fucking amazing, dude. It's been revealing. If nothing else, it's been very revealing. This whole
I think we all learned
5-6
a lot in the
years.
last 4 years, man. I mean,
and
then when you think about it, it's like, you know, when you grow up in that world of those guys a lot of those guys are lifelong fucking politicians. They went to Yale, Harvard, all these fucking uptight, you know, like we don't, you know, like to have someone come in and say wild shit that you would love to say to somebody, but would never fucking do it because I might have to work with them later or whatever. And then to have someone come in and just fucking throw insults and say kind of halfway funny shit every once in a while. It's like, dude, he becomes a fucking, you know, I see how he became a hero to a bunch of
if you remember
like just dorks, you know, he's a hero for dorks, you know.
Oh, totally, exactly. That's exactly what it was. And if you remember like the run-ups to the 2016 election, the Republican, you know, debates, it was just kind of fucking funny. Like he was just like he was tearing those guys apart. Yeah. And I at the time I thought he was just going to basically not even go all the way. I thought he was going to just go through the debates, kind of stir up all this shit, and then just kind of quit, you know? And so I was kind of like, dude, this is fucking awesome. Like I was kind of loving it. And then it just became this real thing. It was like, oh, fuck. Like, what the fuck? How is this even real? You know, but dude, it's been surreal. I mean, let's just hope that things get on a better path, you know. There's a lot of right wingers that are probably watching this that like Strung Out, and I don't know if they do anymore. They probably don't. I don't care. You know, a lot of these motherfuckers like we don't want like Nazis coming to our shows, and we don't want people that support any fascist sort of ideas. And if you vote for Trump the first time, all right, dude, like that's kind of dumb enough. But like if you've learned something, like whatever, man, get over it. And but if you're still fighting this fucking thing and you want this civil war and all this shit, we don't want you coming to our fucking shows.
Yeah.
Like, we don't fucking want you at our
Get
fucking
your tattoo
shows.
covered up.
Yeah, dude. I think it's safe I think I can speak for the band on this, that we don't want like right wing like fucking Trump trucks fucking showing up at Strung Out shows and shit. So
well, they have the Trump flag and then the Strung Out flag on the back of the truck.
Yeah, that's confusing, dude, because they're out there. There are like Strung Out fans that are
everywhere,
fans.
man.
I've encountered them, and it's like it's hard to. I mean, just I never want politics to be like a thing where like it defined who I hung out with or anything. Like it never really has. It never has until it's become this like full fucking. I don't even know, dude. It's just the cult of it, and it's just the anger behind it all, and like it's just like white man rage.
That's what it is. I mean, it's a dying fucking generation's last chance.
Well, it's the kids that have been waiting for their ultimate revenge. You know.
Yeah, but it's like my demographic. It's like white males between like 35 and 60 that like have a high school education. It's like, what the fuck? Like we all grew up in the same shit. Like how the fuck do you see this guy as an acceptable? I mean, when he won, if he had done the right shit, I would have been like, maybe he could have.
He had the chance. COVID hit. He could have fucking given everybody $2,000 a month and said, "COVID is real. Wear a fucking mask. Let's save some lives."
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
And he would have won.
All he had to do.
I mean, he would have won that election.
All he had to do, I would have fucking voted for him.
Yeah. If he had clamped down and really made an impact and kept it like as but instead he just dodged it. It's all been denial. And you can't have a leader fucking doing that. No. Like I don't give a fuck what country it is. Like you can't have
a leader in any way, shape, or form. Like you can't have a store manager. You can't have a fucking you can't have a band manager. You can't have a fucking tour manager. You can't have these people that are just like, oh yo, fucking no, this isn't my fault. It's his fault.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
Like, well, no, your job is to fucking make the decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, but well, I made him make the decision. It's like
why the fuck does he want this fucking gig? Why would
legacy.
he want the
It's just
fucking
legacy,
gig?
dude. It's legacy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm so confused by it though, because it's just like
And he
just
always
like,
talks about how great his life was like before it, and obviously he did have everything going on. Like, why the fuck would you still want this? But it's to basically hide from I think a lot of the legal shit that's coming his way.
Honestly, man, like I think he's at a point where he's bought into his own bullshit for many, many years. He really, truly believes that. I think in his heart of hearts, he truly fucking believes he is the God King and he's the only one that's going to make it better. Like, when you start like look at like the Scientology, like your David Miscavige, these guys have completely bought it, or any Joel Osteen, any sort of wild religious leader, they bought into this bullshit. And at their core, they're fucking wrong, but they don't, you know what I mean? It's like you can't see
believe it though.
You just can't see it, and it'll never, nothing. I thought maybe for a half a second after he got COVID that, maybe it'll humble him a bit. And then, I immediately realized it's not. Nope.
There's no changing the dude. And he's his own worst enemy. He always has been his own worst enemy. And that's always been the thing where it's like, whatever happens, like he's going to kind of do himself in. And it just sucks. It became this big of a fucking, this whole pandemic thing is like the last thing we needed to test his capability.
Real leadership skills, yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what though? I mean,
man.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, so Trump has one way to save his legacy, and that is to unlock some alien secrets.
That's where I was going. Yeah,
that's true.
So if Trump was to unlock the biggest alien secret, what do you think that is? What is the biggest alien secret the American government is hiding that we don't know about?
Wow.
Do you know one? Do you know anything about the aliens?
I do.
I don't know anything actually. I can imagine maybe we're living on the moon and the moon is Earth.
Oh, snap.
Maybe there's that.
Did you see that in the actual package that they passed? There's a 180-day countdown written in it for full disclosure for aliens.
Really?
Yeah, in the fucking stimulus package, in that 5,000 page fucking thing, there is some sort of written statements in there that are counting down from inauguration day, 180 fucking days to full disclosure for aliens.
Wow.
It's in it's in the stimulus package, dude.
So that's going to
come out. And that's the crazy part is like, whatever happens with Trump, or whether we're in the middle of a fucking war or Biden's president and trying to get Corona down, like, I can't wait, dude. I want to see that shit so bad. And I'm not sure that aliens are going to come down and be like, hey, we're here. But I think there is a point now where they're going to start releasing the information.
All the skin is going to melt off of the aliens that are already here, and the crab people will come out.
Yeah. There'll be a mix of They Live, Mars Attacks. It's going to be all the
They Live, Mars Attacks, South Park.
Yeah. People. Oh, it'd be so great. So
I'd be so happy.
I'm ready to read the books.
Well, with all the exposure that's been coming out, those documentaries, that Phenomenon one, I don't know if you've seen that one, but it is fucking pretty. It's all with top military officials that are reporting on the instances they've had and shit and it's like high up ranking military officials. It's not like random fucking Joe Blow who's been abducted and all that stuff. It's all this like insane disclosure stuff. It's starting to really come to fruition. And with the Pentagon admitting basically like, what is it, a month ago, that we have had off-world fucking vehicles, or spacecraft come in to our atmosphere.
Well, all those pilots, all the pilot footage,
and those are part of that documentary too.
Declassifying and shit. That stuff's fucking gnarly.
Yeah, and then you look at the stuff with Area 51 with Bob Lazar. I don't know if you've seen that. That's a fucking good one, dude. Have you seen that Bob Lazar documentary, John? Oh, it's so good.
I don't think I've seen that one either.
Look it up on Netflix, dude. Look up Bob Lazar. It's called Alien something. But this dude,
I know that name.
He worked at Area 51, and in the 80s came out in the 80s he came out and started telling everyone about, basically he was working on these fucking anti-gravity projection fucking systems, and he'd seen all this shit, and there was an element called 115, which was the fuel source for all this shit, and they couldn't reverse engineer it. They couldn't do shit. And fucking for 30 years, they denied it. And then now it's on the periodic table of elements.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's
it's
cool.
fucking wild, dude. And this dude's
Okay, I'll check
story
it out. Fuck yeah.
hasn't changed one time in 30 years. It ruined his life. His fucking social security number was erased. All of his
Wow.
college records, every fucking place he's ever worked at has been denied that he worked there. You know what I
Wow,
mean?
so
Like,
it's starting
it's
to come
crazy, dude.
Nice,
And-
dude. Awesome, dude. Thank you. I'll
What
check it out.
What if
I'll
he's
look
just an insane person? What if he's just like smoked too much Sherm?
He's not. I mean,
He's just a really good
dude.
storyteller.
Smoked too much Sherm and got cleaned up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
There's
when you
always
listen
that.
to it and all the
Always
supplemental stuff, it's like, it's incredible, dude. Because the shit that he was saying 30 fucking years ago is starting to come out now as actual fucking facts. And it's never changed once. You know what I
So
mean?
Tiger King is going to be
Yeah.
a huge thing,
Yeah.
big thing one day. And people are like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Bob?
Like, what the fuck is this guy fucking
Bob,
talking
you're
about?
crazy. There's no
Yeah,
Tiger King out."
watch it, dude. Tiger King is.
Okay, well, thank you.
Watch
But
Tiger
yeah, dude, there's so many things this year. Like, I've watched so much shit. Like, I watched so many of my old favorite movies. I don't like them at all anymore, which sucks.
Right.
Because like these are like my go-tos. Now I like can't go to them anymore. So, and then
What?
like, you know, it's just
Like what? Name a
all this
couple.
like there's just too much shit on Netflix, dude. It's like too much fucking shit. Like, I can't remember anything anymore.
Wait, what
let me
movies?
see
What
here.
movies were you watching that you can't watch now?
Dude, I watched. Oh yeah,
Well, you know,
yeah.
all the Back to the Futures and Indiana Jones and all the Bill Murray movies, like anything from basically everything that came out in the 80s.
Dude,
Why
it's
can't
fucking.
you watch
The
them now?
80s are kind of
I
rough.
watched
I can still watch Back to
times.
the Future and Indiana Jones. What's wrong with you?
I know. No, I can always watch it, but it's just like I've watched them 500 times this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's not because of like political socio issues.
Oh,
It's
no.
because-
It's because
Oh, okay.
If anything, I would
like,
think it's just
hard watching
because
the
it's
movie.
like it's hard to look at when you've been inundated with everything we're inundated with. And then if you look at it, you're like, wow, this does look really old. This does look.
But I do need some good new recommendations, so
Yeah.
very appreciated.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if you want to go down that alien hole, dude. I mean, and I
dude,
like a
fuck
good conspiracy, but I try to be realistic about it. But the alien one is one I think that's
Alien's
just,
just
it's
great,
been a
yeah.
long time coming, dude. You
Dude,
know?
I
Yeah.
watched that movie. The Outpost.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
it's a fucking war movie. I mean, I like war movies, bro. That movie is fucked up.
Really?
is that
It's
the one?
about like basically like an outpost in Afghanistan that is like in the bottom of a valley, and it's like a true story. And I guess like the Taliban fucking attacked it. Well, I guess they did, and it's
Yeah, shit's fucking crazy, dude.
gnarly war movie. I like fucked up war movies though.
I like war movies too.
They're like the best. I can
Yeah.
like anytime a war movie comes out, I'm like, I'm gonna go watch that shit. I don't ever want to be anywhere near war except when it's like fucking on my TV in front of me.
Yeah, dude, totally. Yeah, man, it's gnarly. I've always been a big World War II guy, you know. So like, I grew up watching all that shit with my grandpa. So just huge on that.
Dude,
Became a big war movie
so
guy.
good.
So.
So good. But all right, dude. Well, fucking what do you got going on? Yeah, so fucking we got shit going on because it's fucking
Yeah,
good.
Just trying to like record a lot of music, like
Are
everything.
you doing lessons? Are you doing lessons right nowadays or
I
no?
have been. Yeah, I took a little break over the holidays, but I've been doing just through Skype and stuff like that. So
All right.
yeah, you can just hit me up at jake@strungout.com and you know, set up lessons that way and stuff like that. But it's been cool, you know. I love interacting. At least that I'd rather do lessons in person.
Yeah.
But this is a cool way to still interact with people and pass on some stuff, and you learn from them as well. You know, it's always a very cool thing just to play music at any capacity with, you know, new people and get them inspired, get them stoked on what you're doing. And I can show them the little secrets that I've figured out over the years from, you know, just getting to tour and getting to watch so many great players and shit like that.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
It's always like, dude, it's so good to be on tour with another band and like a guy that just really has some weird tricks that you don't know, and you're like, what the fuck, dude? And then you spend the whole tour just picking his brain, you know, and you trying to figure out what the fuck are you doing, man, you know?
Well, a lot of those dudes, like, you can't really talk to them because they're kind of crazy people, you know, like some of the best like shredders are like a little bit out there. So it's like you got to kind of just like watch them from afar and like study them like a lion or a giraffe. You know,
well, and they can't
like,
explain themselves either, probably.
Yeah,
you know?
and they'll like get, if I start asking them shit, they like clam up and they like get sheepish, so they don't want to like really talk about what they do. So you almost need to like kind of, But dude, early on, like getting tour with like NoFX and Lagwagon and like Warren from the Vandals, to watch that dude every night was just like insane. Like,
Dude.
how's this guy doing what the fuck he's doing?
Yeah, that guy. I watched Sweat to the Oldies the other day. Just like it used to be my favorite fucking video ever. I watched it daily when I was a kid, man, and still so fucking impressive with that guy, man. And Josh Freese, obviously. Yeah. I mean, they're all good, but Josh Freese and Warren is ridiculous, dude. I mean,
dude, I watched School of Rock the other day, or day before yesterday with the kid. And did you know that Warren Fitzgerald is Jack Black's writing partner?
I knew he was involved in that, and Matt Hyde recorded a lot of that stuff, I think.
Oh, really?
Like stories about that session.
Like we were watching the closing credits, and it's all song written by Jack Black, Warren Fitzgerald. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
I fucking looked it up, and it was like, yeah, he was in the earliest incarnations of Tenacious D. And
really?
Was like their writing.
Yeah, dude, he's so well-rounded as a player and just like a musician. So yeah, dude, that makes sense. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Do you have any other like over the years touring like musicians that you've seen that just like would never expect just blow you out of the fucking water?
Well, you just come across like when we first saw the Living End play, that Australian band. We were down there, and we were booked by like the same people that managed them. So we went and saw them play at this small little it was like a Christmas party. And dude, I could not believe how good that guitar player Chris Chaney was and is. But back then, this is like the late 90s. And he was just playing like Brian Setzer meets like Billy Joe meets like, Eddie Van Halen. It's just like, he was fucking just such a great player all around. And, not that I ever could emulate what he was doing at all. He's like a whole universe away.
Level. I love that.
But just to like see that you could do that, and that there's no limits. And you can, I always like fusion. I like fusing different scenes and styles. And I think that's the only way to really sort of be in an individual or be somewhat original is to, you just have to, because we all just have 12 notes to work with, it's a limited palette that you get as a musician. So, and especially in rock and roll, it's like what hasn't been done. But I think when you can fuse things and you can fuse the punk rock energy with like that rockabilly Brian Setzer, Chuck Berry on steroids meets Van Halen guitar, like that was just like such a cool thing. And we got to tour with them a little bit after that. So that was incredible to see Chris play up close. Yeah. But, I didn't ever take lessons from him or anything. I wish I had. I wish I'd like cornered him. I wish I'd like gotten wasted and been like, show me everything.
Show me. Show me the whole thing.
Well, like, are you a main songwriter for Strung Out? I mean, you do a lot of the writing?
We're all pretty equal, as far as.
But like what's your process? Like, do you have a riff in your head all the time that you develop off of, or how do you attack it usually? Do you just play mindlessly? Yeah. Like I play mindlessly until something catches my attention, and then I start figuring I'll sit down and develop on that.
Whenever I'm playing, like I'll sit down and I'll start like playing stuff I'm going through, either stuff I'm learning or stuff I know that I'm just keeping up in shape. So I'll go through like Eruption, I'll go through like all my Randy Rhoads stuff, I'll go through like Metallica, a lot of songs just to stay in form, and then I'll just kind of start dicking around and noodling around. And sometimes it's like you hear something in what you're playing, you're like, oh cool, I hear something cool in that, what else? And a lot of the times it's just like these weird things that just kind of write themselves. Like just you're playing and like it just becomes this thing you hear, and then you just kind of know where to take it. You hear where to take it, and sometimes in the process of trying to go where you hear it to go, it goes somewhere else. And but it's a better direction. If it's not better, I'll go and keep trying to find that thing I hear. So it's sort of like those different ways of just playing, noodling around, and then when I write a riff I like, I'll usually record it, because a lot of times that initial conception of it, even if it's not like maybe the cleanest performance, there's something quirky about that original riff that you liked, that stuck out to you, that made it somewhat different, or maybe you want to like keep working on it. And sometimes if I don't record it immediately, I'll exactly the rhythm. I don't remember exactly the way, like something, and I'll play it more in just like a standard 4/4 or something, and I'll know I'm missing something. So now I try to always record that initial conception, because you're saving that original idea, and then you can always relearn it and clean it up, but at least you have it saved. So
Yeah.
And I'm talking just like on my iPhone,
Yeah,
just
that's
with like
what I record, like just on, I'll record on my phone, and dude, I'll scroll through and just go back through old recordings and riffs, and you're like, where the fuck was I when I was doing that? I don't even know how I did it. I don't know where I am. I'm not sure what key it was. What fucking tuning was I in that day?
Sure.
You're like,
Sure. Well, no, I've learned it's better to do video actually, because sometimes I can't figure out what I'm listening to.
Isn't that weird?
I wrote it, I recorded it, and now I'm like, what the fuck? Like, was I in E? Was I in D? Because I won't be in D, because if I'm in D, I won't be like right with it. It's like, where the fuck is this? So it's just one of those things where it's like, you got to sort of like, if I could film myself playing it, then at least I know exactly the position I'm in and where my fingers are, so I could like determine a little better. Oh, I'm just out of tune, with where I recorded it.
I'm always so envious when you meet a guy that like literally can hear it and then play it immediately. You know what I mean? You're like, what the fuck, man? Like, but I jumped in playing bass for a band for a while, and I went in the recording. It's like, I'm okay bass player, dude. I can play. Obviously, I'm a guitar player, but I play bass. And I went in. I had to film the dude playing bass. You know what I mean? And I filmed every song because I was like, there's just no way I'm going to be able to listen to. And it was pretty technical shit, like. And so after watching him play it, at least know he's in this area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes it so much easier for me,
For sure. Having that little bit of a visual reference and guide can help out in that. So, but a lot of times I remember the riff pretty good. It's just like little things. It's like, where the fuck did I play that? Like, that doesn't sound right here, So, I've been doing that more. But yeah, just trying to save all this shit. I have a ton of ideas, like we definitely have enough material to like get together and write like a full record probably. But I think this time off is a gift in a lot of ways for artists to be able to take more time and hopefully be working on your craft right now and come out of this way better than you were going into this as far as a performer. And then hopefully you're doing some really intense writing right now, because no one's under the gun to get anything out, which is usually an issue with making a record. Like, you have that timeline, so everyone's like, fuck, we need it done in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, super like, I feel our last record was kind of rushed. Like we just wrote it super quick and then went in and recorded it super quick. And I feel like it's cool, but at the time I was like, oh, it's cool. We're getting a very immediate, capture of where we're at right now. And it is that, but it's also just not as developed as I feel it really could have been or should have been. So I like the fact that you can really take this time to vet out some music and really take your time with it. And we've recorded 4 new musical pieces. We sent them to Jason, and I think he's writing to a few of those. So hopefully, we'll record 1 or 2 of those in the next couple months, but there's no rush. And so, let's make it the best it can be. Let's not, let's really make sure these songs are fucking home runs.
Yeah, I mean, it's the musician's curse, dude. I mean, it's so hard to be incredibly happy with anything you really fucking put out. You know what I mean? Because by the time you record the album, fucking put it out, it's 6 months, a year later. Now you're playing it live, and now you're doing something that's fucking totally cooler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, man, I wish I could have went back and did that. Or God forbid you get a sound that you didn't like. The mix isn't where you wanted it, and it is under that timeline. You're just like, fuck, man. Like, I can, hopefully, if a good musician is their own worst enemy, most of the time.
Well, I mean, it's pretty rare. There's a couple of our albums that I'm more happy with than the others and things like that. But yeah, dude, it's definitely a lot of the times it's like a sonic thing. Like, I think the music is cool. I think we did a good job with the songs, but like in the production, things aren't what they should have been.
Right.
And that's out of my hands. All I can do is be like, hey, can we hear more of this? Can I hear more of that? And so are the other guys were saying that, and it's up to the engineer to balance all that and the producer to mix it and try to make everyone happy and also do what they think is best. So it's a tough thing, to deal with. And you're very rarely going to make a record that everyone in the band is like happy with, or everybody at the label is happy with, or whatever. So, but we do pretty well in that regard. When we're in there and we're doing it, we're into it. And then we record, and when we mix it, we're usually happy with it at the time. And then it's like a few months later, you're like, oh shit, like, why does it sound like shit now?
Yeah, that's when the doubt starts to creep in. Do you guys have a consistent like engineer or studios or producer that you work with at all, or is it?
No, we kind of go between dudes. Like, we've kind of gone between back and forth. Like we used Matt Hyde for 2 records in a row, and I think he got some of the best stuff out of us. We used Cameron Webb for 2 records that were like spaced apart. Used Donald Cameron for a couple things spaced apart. Ryan Green for a couple things, and then some other guys. So you know, yeah, there's been a variety. Like I think we've jumped around with producers way more than the average band.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A lot of bands stick with like 1 dude or 2 guys, and that's cool. But I think, I don't know, I mean, maybe it's just because we're always trying to like get something new out of what we're doing, some new inspiration, some new guidance. I don't know, but we've nothing against anyone we've ever worked with, but we just generally don't like to go right back and do another thing with that same person, you know.
Well, when you're talking about longevity, like you guys have, you know, what, fucking 20, 30 years almost?
Yeah, almost 30
yeah,
years.
you know, so it's like you got to be able to change it up. But I mean, having that relationship with an engineer or producer is so important before you even start the recording. I mean, it's, you know, it's hard. For me, it would be very hard to meet some dude at the studio and be like, okay, let's start. You know, like I'd have to have some sort of awareness, idea, you know, some sort of relationship built in my mind. You know, I mean,
it's been a little bit of that where we kind of will do pre-production with some of these guys where we'll meet them and get a feel for them at practice. They'll come out to a rehearsal for weeks at a time. And we'll go through all the songs and we'll rearrange the songs with them and take their 2 cents and really, you know, try to make the songs better. So in that process, you get a feel for, okay, is this the right guy? You know, and there's been some dudes where it's like, oh, cool, this is insane. Like, you know, right off the bat, these songs are better now. And then other people, it's like, it's all right. I don't know if I like it better. Let's see, you know? And then, so there's all different degrees of that, you know, but yeah, I like having that outside mediator, you know, that 6th member that can listen to it objectively and not have anything attached to any one of the songs, because like I was saying, we're all pretty equal writers in the musical department, where myself, Chris and Rob each write like 4 to 5 songs per record, you know, and then Jordan and now RJ just, you know, when we get together, they put all their energy and creative element into, you know, structuring the arrangements and helping us with the arrangement ideas. And then Jason comes in and we'll listen to what we've done, and then he'll put in his ideas about what, you know, should we make the verse longer or shorter, and any sort of things like that, any changes. But sometimes it can be too many cooks in the kitchen, for sure. It can be too many people. The song can be, in my opinion, fucking great and worked out, and sometimes that happens in like a half hour. Sometimes you write something that's fucking perfect, it's magic, and then it can easily get fucking derailed and just thrown into some weird curve by too many people going, well, what about this? And what if you change that and put that here? And then it's just like, now you forget what the fuck it did in the first place, which was amazing. And now it's just this weird clusterfuck. And so I like having that outside guy that can be like, okay, look, it is good as it is, or it does need more, but that producer should be better than anyone in the band, that like arrangement and writing. And you shouldn't be working with a dude that's like not as good as, that's not going to bring something to the group and the overall chemistry that, you know, isn't a big improvement, you know.
I couldn't be more frustrated with someone that has no fucking frame of reference for what you're doing, just throwing ideas in because he has a name to throw ideas in on, you know. That would drive me fucking crazy, dude.
And you know,
and for me, it's like whatever serves the song, whatever serves the song wins, you know what I mean?
But, you know, and within that realm, it's like some producers don't really ask much of you. Like you go in and they're like, okay, it's fine. And like, really, is it great? And they're like, yeah, it's fine. It's like, okay, that's cool. I'll put it down. And it's like, I don't know, like, or they'll be like, what can you do that's better? It's like, well, I can lay down a few ideas, but what do you think I could do? Because I don't want you to just push buttons. I want you to try to bring something out of me and out of the song that's better than what I'm bringing you. And some guys do that. Like Matt Hyde is pretty much the best of the best that I've worked with, as far as going, okay, I see what you want. This is what I would do to get there. And like he knows theory like a million times more than me. And he's not like a shredder, but he can like show me where to put my fingers, and then I'll play the riff that way. And it's like, it totally is what I was going for. And he just hears it immediately. And it would have taken me like a half hour to figure it out, you know? So there's dudes like that are just right on it, and they fucking hear what you want, you know, what it should be. But sometimes though, then you run the risk of them like almost writing the record for you. You know, so there's a boundary to all of it. You know, I like a lot of that. I like a dude that's going to dig. And Kyle Black was interesting working with him. He was just like, we laid it down. We're like, this is cool. He's like, okay, like let's replay it again. It's like, wait, what? We're gonna replay the bridge again? And it's like he just kept doing things over and over and over with us to where it honestly was on the edge of fatigue, where we were kind of like, dude, like we've spent like 3 days on this fucking bridge. Like it's good, dude.
Yeah.
Like, but every time we did that, he got something great out of it that he would just take, and he would take these little bits of everything. And it was like the most inefficient way. And I love you, Kyle.
Right.
I'm not trying to be mean, but it was inefficient in the fact that we just threw everything at the fucking wall. And then at the end of the day, he was able to construct this, because we had all the time in the world when we worked with Kyle. He had his own studio. We were supposed to go in for like a month, and it ended up being like a 6-month recording, you know, because he had other projects that were coming up, and then we had a tour that came up and some things. So it just kept getting extended, and it wasn't a big deal because he had his own place. So because of that, we could live with that. We could live with that record. I'm talking about the Transmission Alpha Delta record. We could live with it and come back and work on it more in 2 weeks and keep improving it and keep doing little at a time. And at the time, we were kind of like, are we insane? Like this thing fucking should have been done months ago. Like, but we got such, in my opinion, it's my favorite record. It's our best sounding record, I think. And it doesn't sound Frankenstein together. It sounds real to me. Like I'm amazed when I listen to that record. I'm like, fuck, I'm always impressed. Like, and whenever I put it on, I'm blown away at just the production and like the life of the record. It just sounds alive to me. Where other records of ours, thank you.
That was a fun record to tour on.
Yeah.
Like when those songs, when you guys started playing those songs live for the first time and stuff like that, and then we did that album tour.
Yeah.
Like those songs they just hit differently.
Yeah,
like,
they kind of did.
It's like strung out, doing something just that's a little not strung out, but
it was kind of a step up.
Out.
It was like Exile and Oblivion. We've had these few records in our career, like Twisted by Design, Exile and Oblivion, that one, that are kind of like landmark records, and they're kind of like these big growth records. And that record was our first record we did in 5 years. So that was the longest ever taken in between. Everything's always been like 2 to 3 years. That record was like 2009 was when Agents came out, and then 2015 was when that came out. So it was like 6 years in between records, and it just you know, but we were all so excited to like do something, and like we were all on the same page at that moment and things. So I think all that came together and made it what it is. And then Kyle's insane studio, you know, demands from us, which at the time were crazy, I felt, but you know, I love it, and I really want to work with Kyle again because I feel he got something that was gnarly and like in a more efficient manner. You know, I think we can do it in a month and a half.
It's one of those things like you almost got beaten, and like when it was happening, you're like, I feel like I'm just getting beaten the whole time, and like, and then when it's over, you're like, okay, all right.
That's what I've always heard about that Matt Bales dude that from he did a lot old Mastodon records and shit. Big engineer from Seattle. I think he was in Minus the Bear. But that guy, our friend's ancestors recorded with him, and they fucking, I mean, maxed their budget out to get there. And this guy fucking tortured them the whole time. I mean, just for fucking weeks. And you know, by the time they were done, they were so happy with the record. But he's all, I've never had someone do that to me ever in the studio. Like I've played something 25 fucking times. He's like, one more time. And you're like, what the fuck? No, man? You know what I mean? But like,
it's brutal, but it gives results. I love that. I want that. I want to be beat to death. I want to be completely challenged on my instrument and fucking called out. And I want to be made someone that I'm not, that is better than what went in there. You know, I want to grow from the experience, and I don't want to come out of there going, well, that was easy. And that was, you know, whatever. I could do that. I don't know. Sometimes I feel that I come out of a recording. I'm like, I could have even done all this shit better. It's like, really? I'm done now? Like, so yeah, like it's just, that was a rare case of everything sort of just being the right, all of that. And but you know,
you were ready for the challenge. You know, you're ready for the challenge at that point. You know, like some people don't. I respond really well to shit like that. You know what I mean? That tough love, fucking. You know, but some guys are just little fragile fucking snowflakes, and it's like you talk to someone and they're like, I can't fucking. You know, it's like, oh my god,
for sure. Yeah.
Get mad? Are you fucking mad? Good. Now we're all mad. Let's get it done. You know.
Everyone deals with pressure differently. You know, and some people. excel under pressure and others crumble under pressure. It's kind of a either or. And, you know, Matt Hyde was incredibly demanding in that he's very quick. He hears things and knows exactly what he wants it to be and what it should be. And he's very fucking quick. And if you're not as quick as him, he gets frustrated. So I witnessed that in different ways within our group. And I'm sure everyone he works with, you know, where certain people are able to flow and they catch on and they fucking roll. And that's when things are really fucking moving. And then other people bog down and they get frustrated and then they get fucking, then they start playing shittier and then he gets more frustrated. So it's like it can snowball. So you really just got to be prepared, dude. I mean, if you're going in the studio with a hardcore badass fucking musician producer, you got to be ready, or you should be ready for whatever they throw at you, and to be able to answer that and to be able to learn from it and excel under it. And, you know, I've always tried to learn from every experience and do my best. And I feel I've graduated with each record to another level. But, you know, and I think each of us have. But it's like there's certain things where it's like, you know, the pressure, it can be counterproductive. It's just, I guess, how you take it, you know. I drill a metronome. I'm always playing everything to a metronome at home.
Do you really? Wow.
Constantly. I feel it's a waste of time for me to play if I don't have it on almost.
It's driving me nuts. I mean, and it's weird because you hear the exact opposite from guys like Steve Albini, who are like, I'm a fucking engineer. If you come in to record a record with me, you better have the fucking record done because I'm recording it. It's like you're not getting feedback. You're not getting fucking like Neurosis records with him extensively, and that fucking band will hammer a record for a year before they even step foot into that dude's studio. And he's like, they come in, they fucking bang the record out exactly how they want it, and they leave, and it's awesome.
And that's what a great engineer. That's the difference. A great engineer will just do what you want. You know, they'll track it, they'll make it your tone sound the best they can, and they'll give you back what you lay down. So I guess that's a good point. An engineer is very much that. And a producer is very much, I'm going to shape you.
He's the outside member of the band. You basically invited another member in for
sure. And so a lot of the dudes we worked with have, you know, they're hard on one or hard on the other, somewhere in the middle. So I kind of like it to be at least in the middle, you know. I like to get some feedback. I really do. And also some of the dudes with, like, Rob's kind of a producer himself. You know, John, as far as you probably witnessed, Rob, when he knows he likes something, he knows what he likes. And he has an ear for drums that it's extraordinary. His ear for drums, like when we're writing songs, he and you know, I always try to let the drummer kind of just do what they want to my riffs. Like, here's my riff, play what you want, make it fast, you know, make it fast and make this part slow. But Rob will be very like, I hear this beat, I hear this pattern, and that's really great in a lot. I respect the hell out of that. I respect the fuck out of guys that knows what they want and isn't in there just like, you know, not fucking making the calls and just like jamming. I hate a fucking endless jam. I can't fucking deal with just a never ending jam. I like shit to be orchestrated and like I like, you know, like an arrangement. So Rob is great, but it can be a little bit intense with Rob. And then if you have the producer also in there, and then so you have to have I can work with the producer very well because I'm like, dude, it's cool. I'm just in charge of my guitar department. And here's my vague idea for the rest of my song. The rest of you guys make it rad. You know, and the Rob is much more, he's got a vision. He can demo it and play all those parts and do the song and just put it out himself, you know, like he knows it that well. So that's where, like, you know, but it's always a good thing. You know, I think you want to have members in the studio that can come at all different angles, you know.
It creates the best product.
Strung Out definitely has that, like I said, it's good to have Rob, like, you know what I mean, like it's probably I always feel bad for like the producer or the engineer that has to deal with it, or like our sound guy at the show, you know what I mean, like but I'm always like, hey man, he fucking gives such a fuck about the product.
Well, that's the thing, you know,
like, he cares so fucking much, and that's how he gets it done. And this is his baby. So,
and I appreciate it, but like, imagine if all five of us were like that.
Oh no, exactly. It would be.
So it's a good thing to be working on your third record. You got to have it's all the chemistry, you know. It's like we are this nucleus of whatever, the five of us are, and you change any of those factors and the whole chemistry of the thing is different. And,
Right.
You've seen the difference with Jordan and RJ with that, with that chemistry change. And it would be the same in any way. You didn't know Jim Cherry when he was in the band, but that was a different chemistry as well. So, it's been interesting, man. I've been there the whole time to see it. It's always
interesting,
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Well,
it's good. It's needed. It's a healthy balance.
It is.
No one is exactly the same.
Well, somehow it's working still 28 years later, 29 or whatever.
Right.
Questionable how it's working sometimes, but it's working.
It's just like
we're
just jammed in the hole. It's dysfunctional. It's not a smooth operating machine. It's clogged. But the pipe are clogged.
Fun. It's so much fun though. I miss it. I can't wait till we can get back on the road.
Yeah. Oh fuck, dude. It's gonna. Can you imagine, dude? Can you even? It's not gonna. I don't even know, dude. Like I don't even know how to plan for it to come back. It's not gonna just be okay. Everyone. Van calls 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be like I'm gonna be out at the van with a hazmat suit on. I'll be fucking spraying everyone down as they get in the van. I'll have a fucking.
Like the mask thing is probably still gonna be a thing. It's going to be more like, it's up to you if you want to wear it or not. Like, I don't know. It all depends on how fucking effective this fucking shot is. It really is.
We'll see, man. I have a handful of friends that have taken it and, they said they don't feel any side effects. And you know what I mean? Good. I think it's a 2-shot process. So my buddy's a nurse and he's like, I'm at like 74% fucking, coverage right now. By the time I get the next one, it'll be 94, 95. I don't know, man. It'll happen. I mean, I think we all just have to remember this time right now where all we wanted to do was the thing that we love to fucking do.
I know.
When we are doing it, don't take it for granted ever again.
We're gonna be such assholes.
I was guilty of it myself,
Everyone's gonna forget this even happened. There's gonna be assholes who's just gonna be going back
immediately,
everything like fucking getting wasted DUIs. Everyone's gonna get DUI the first night. Totally up. But no, dude, I hope we all learn, and hopefully this has taught us all some patience and some appreciation for all the things in our lives that we have and that we don't have, that when it comes back, dude, like, I don't know. Like, John, like we always try to appreciate being out there, but when you're on tour, it's like, it's this amazing thing. It's just this moment in time where sometimes it doesn't even hit me till I'm back.
Yeah.
Like we're out there, we're New York today, Jersey tomorrow, Boston, Chicago, fucking day off at the fucking, hopefully a Holiday Inn with a pool,
Holiday Inn with a pool with the Chili's in the parking lot.
Yeah, I'm never away from all of you. I'm never more than 5 feet from someone.
Yeah. We're always all together. Yeah.
Mostly with all of you, but at least with Chris or like someone, I'm never more than. I'm always in the room, or I'm in the bathroom. He's in the room. So it's like that is just. Yeah, dude. I mean, I missed it to death. I was always the person that loved the road, like I'm not like one of those dudes that like, fuck, I'm so burned out. I love it, dude. And, and the meet and greets and everything we were doing were fucking awesome. Like
it was so much
that was
fun.
such a cool new thing that was a part of it. And, I really enjoyed the shit out of seeing those kids play with us and watching them do it. So I just, man, cannot wait for all that to come back. And I'll appreciate it more than ever.
It's gonna be sweet. I can't wait to smell your feet.
I know it's gonna be wonderful.
I missed it. Fucking, smoking bong loads.
Vegetarian, vegan Taco Bell.
Yeah, vegan Taco Bell. Fucking bong loads out of weird fruits.
Oh, dude, we're gonna make the weirdest bongs ever. Dude. A lot more states should be fucking legalized.
It'll be fine now.
It'll be much more for the cruise.
Well, it'll be more likely you guys will do Europe before you fucking do America anytime soon.
Totally. Well, that's booked now in August. Europe is like August. So,
wow. Okay. Cool.
So we'll see if things are going on in summer. Like that's kind of the thing. I guarantee Europe's gonna have a more efficient vaccine program, and it's going to get through their population a lot quicker.
Yeah. Well, go to Israel. They're doing 150,000 vaccines a day right now. They're fucking trumping everybody, dude.
Dude.
Yeah. Israel might be the spot.
Right.
Yeah. Well, dude, it was a fucking pleasure to have you on, man. A pleasure to meet you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for coming, Jake. I miss you. I love you.
I miss you too, John. I love you guys so much, man. I miss you guys. Thank you. It's great to meet you, my man.
Where can people find you on the interwebs?
Yeah. I'll talk to you in a bit. I'll shoot you a text here in a little bit. Love you, man.
All right, dudes. Have a good one.
Later.
Later, Jake.
See